The fashion world is once again agog, aghast, and enamored with a 14-year-old Israeli girl who was launched into the modeling stratosphere with a runway walk in a Christian Dior fashion show. The early adolescent, Sophia Merchetner, wore a sheer white dress in the Paris fashion show this summer and became the face of Dior's haute couture. She's not the only one. Cindy Crawford's 13-year-old daughter has landed a contract with IMG Models. Legendary supermodel Kate Moss got her start at 14. So did Naomi Campbell. And both of those models have had well-documented struggles with substance abuse. International model Luciana Curtis has graced the covers of well-known magazines, traveled the world for photo shoots, and you got your start at the tender age of 14.
Yes,
is 14
also
too young?
It's difficult to say. It's a fun job. It's not like she's working at a terrible place and making no money. So, you know, she's going to get to travel and learn other languages. And if she has, you know, a good head on her shoulders, she'll do well and have a great future.
Can we talk about the advantages here? Sophia's parents are divorced. She's from Russian-born parents. Her mom was cleaning houses, earning about $1,000 a month. And she reportedly has now signed a contract for between $200,000 and $250,000. Money to this family is going to make a big difference.
Definitely, yeah, and to her as well, you know, she'll be able to go to a better school maybe, or, you know, and if she's smart enough, she's going to save her money and have, like, a comfortable life.
Not everyone thinks that this is a good idea. Dion von Furstenberg, who's the president of the Fashion Council here in New York City, said the industry's hiring of prepubescent-appearing teenage girls as models of adult clothing sets an unrealistic standard. Hips and breasts, the curves that define the female figure, are absent. Carol White, who founded the Premier Model Agency, said there's something inappropriate about putting very young girls in outfits designed for grown women, and we saw some criticism because of Sophia's sheer outfit. But Sophia herself said, I feel ready. I'm not alone. I'm looked after closely. They're treating me really nicely. They help me. So the fact that I'm 14 years old is not an issue. Now, she's 14, and so she says fashion nudity is about art, not about sexuality. But is there an awkward tug-of-war here between a pubescent girl and a grown woman and the kinds of clothes that we should be expecting them to wear?
I think it's hard also, you know, because they expect models to be so skinny. And at 14, is, as you said, we don't have breasts yet, we don't have hips. So then when regular models go model those clothes, they're like, oh, she's too fat or this and that. And it's not. It's just because your body are already developed. But, you know, I wouldn't do anything sheer when I was younger. Now it's okay, I'm much older and it's fine. And I always felt weird about my parents seeing it, or one day my kids seeing it, you know?
Were you pressured to show more nudity than you felt comfortable with?
No, never. I have to say I never had a bad experience in this business. I think the hardest thing for a 14-year-old is dealing with, you know, you're never gonna make every client happy. Some clients are going to go, oh, your nose is too big, or your hips are too big, or you're not ready for this. So dealing with that...
That's a hard thing to hear if you're 14 years old.
It's hard, because you're not confident enough to think, okay, this client doesn't like me, but maybe another client is going to like me.
Let's talk about some of the pitfalls here. I mean, those were some of the pictures of you modeling as well. There have been some well-known famous cases where models literally starved themselves to death. A 21-year-old Brazilian model, maybe you knew her, Ana Carolina Reston, died in 2006. She started modeling at 13. What is the peer pressure like to be too thin, unhealthily thin?
I think most models already have a body for this job, and that's why they get picked. You know, I was picked in a mall, or, you know, because you already have that structure. If you have to fight against this, then it's hard. And also, you compare yourself to other girls all the time, so know your limits.
And what about the vulnerability of being abused because you're with adults, as I said, around the world? Is the potential there for girls to become victims?
There is. I never seen anything like that, like in the, you know, with the good agencies, with the people that are good in this business, you're not going to go through that. It depends if you land on a really small agency that don't really exist, you know, and then you might get into trouble. But if you are in a good agency, they take care of the young girls.
All right, here's the real test, Luciana. You have 2 little girls, Cora and Dahlia. I know that they're the light of your life. Would you allow them to start modeling?
Hi, everybody asks me this question. Everybody asks me this question. I don't know. I have to see how they are going to be when they are teenagers, if I trust them, if I think they are ready for this. Now I can't tell.
Their father is a fashion photographer. How does he feel about them modeling young?
You know, we never really talk about this because also they don't know I'm a model yet. They never asked. I say I go to work. They don't ask me why. And I also don't want them exposed to being skinny or being pretty or, you know, they're too young. They're 5 and 2. I want them to be kids for as long as I can. So we haven't talked about it, but if it comes to it, I think we have to see each kid how they are and if they're ready for this, you know. Now I don't think I'll let them at 14. Maybe when they finish school, then they can, you know, do whatever they want.
Luciana, thank you so much for coming
you.
in and sharing an insider's view of this, shedding a little light on what it's like for these young girls.
Thank you.